Friends, we have a rich land, but too many of our people live in poverty. We have a 21st century vision, but we're held back by 19th century prejudices and attitudes. We are ready to play our part in the world, to help from the personal to the universal. But if we are to become a crucible of the new society, then we need the power of independence. We must have these powers. There's only one way of getting these. There's only one way to secure further advance, and that's to vote for Scotland. Not because we are better than anywhere else, because we are the same people as people all over the world. We seek fairness and justice and responsibility. And we are the lucky nation, able to deliver it all, yet we cannot do it without power. Our sense of the common weal is strong and should not be denied by the rich elites of elsewhere. A Scotland caught between the universality of hope and the parochialism of power for its own sake. And as Labour peddle fear, we have led hope. We live in tough times, but when the decision came to protect family budgets, for us it was straightforward. The council tax freeze stays because it's worth more than £300 to the average family since 2007. The NHS budget could have been cut, but for us it was a clear decision. The health service protects Scots, young and old. Its budget is safe with the Scottish National Party. We have made Scotland secure, not by the knee-jerk nonsense of locking people up for short sentences, but by putting 1,000 extra police on the streets and taking crime to a 32-year low in Scotland. We have the best team in the park. We govern for the whole of Scotland. But politics is nothing without a bigger vision. And government much is in the day-to-day. But you must keep your eye on the horizon, on the big prize. For us, that prize is independence. But independence is a means to an end. The end is a society safe and happy and healthy, confident in its own skin. A global citizen acting to help the world where it can. Because the Mapmakers' ink is becoming smudged on every border. Globalism, the rise of the knowledge economy, the big economic changes, the great environmental challenges, all point to a world where the key responsibility of a nation is to raise people who are responsibility to the rest of humanity. And the definition of a nation is a community of people with a shared commitment to their culture and to their children, by having a strong sense of ourselves. It's that sense of ourselves, that sense of Scotland in our communities, that have allowed our new communities from Asia to know what it means to be Scottish, to give them something to join, to be part of. And that sense of self is based on community, on the shared value of helping each other out, lending a hand, on the sense that society should try to be as equal as it possibly can. That's what we value. That's what we think is the whole purpose of government, to the rights of the ordinary, to triumph over the vested interests. In our capital city of Edinburgh, there stands a monument to Thomas Muir and his fellow friends of the people. His memory should cast a beam over the work of every civil servant in the Scottish Government, indeed every minister, because the monument to Muir and his fellow revolutionaries spikes out from Carlton Graveyard like a shaft of stony light across St Andrew's House. And this monument contains Muir's own vision. I have devoted myself to the cause of the people. It is a good cause. It shall ultimately prevail. It shall finally triumph. And his message was not just for that place or this place, but for every place. For his spirit, for Robert Burns' spirit, for Jimmy Reid's spirit is our spirit. It is for the common weal, the rights of men and women, and the legitimacy of the ordinary over the powerful. This party has travelled a similar path. This movement has been patronised, talked down to, told it wasn't good enough. And yet this party has risen from a few MPs in a land without a parliament to a Scotland with a parliament and an SNP government. We have never lost that strength of hope. We have fought on to triumph. But we, in our mix of the national and the international, the personal and the political, we fought not to govern over people, but for the people to govern over themselves. It is for that reason, and that reason above all, that we are the friends of the people of Scotland, and it is for that reason that we shall prevail.